So, one of the most hyped movies of the year, and I do mean hyped to hell and back, was the long overdue third installment to the 28 Days Later franchise. The last one came out in 2007. That's right, 2007. We were still using flip phones and pretending MySpace wasn't dying. So naturally, the when the first crumbs of footage started leaking out, little teaser clips, vague promo images here and there, and eventually an actual trailer, the internet collectively lost their minds, and I was right there, just along with everyone, um, frothing at the mouth like a rabid fanboy. The trailer, honestly, banger. That song that goes with it, just a solid vibe. Got me genuinely curious. It looked like Danny Boyle was stepping back into the chaos with both feet. But unfortunately, now here's where the hot takes start flying. This movie isn't exactly what people expected. It's not your typical horror sequel where they just slap a new date on it and call it a day. It actually tries something different, but that apparently triggered some people so hard you'd think this film slapped their fucking grandma. Before I saw it, I did check out a few reviews, and it was like spinning a roulette wheel of fucking insanity. You had some people saying this movie was cinematic garbage, like it offended them, and then you had IGN out there giving it a 9 out of 10, which when I saw, I was just like, what? After seeing bad reviews and then IGN, it's such an IGN thing to do. You'd think it's like the second coming of Citizen Kane or something, just absolute whiplash. Um, but let me just say it outright. This is not a bad movie. It's not flawless, sure, maybe not even the best of the trilogy, but calling it the worst movie of the year, that's just a bad take. That's a medically concerning opinion. Especially when we had things like Until Dawn, which fucking somehow exists. A thing that is so fucking disconnected from its source material. I genuinely thought I'd walked into the wrong screening. The only thing it had common with the game was the title, and even that just felt like a clerical error. So yeah, 28 years later isn't exactly perfect, but let's just not act like it's just committed a bunch of war crimes against cinema. Relax, take a deep breath, watch Until Dawn again if you need a full reality check. Um, let's just talk about the meat of the movie, because I believe it or not, there is some good stuff in this movie, especially in the first act. I've got some bits here that I've written. Spike and his dad heading into the mainland. That section is just straight up fire, genuinely like eerie, stylish as hell, and just full of that like slow burn tread that the series is known for. Every shot felt heavy, the silence, the ruins, the tension. It was all working overtime. You could practically taste the decay in the air. It felt like we were back in that world again, and it had weight. And I'm sure we've all seen the big picture of the big rig before. This movie was shot on iPhone. I'm not joking. Not just a few scenes. They went full fucking beast mode with it. At one point, had that big rig of like 20 iPhones all strapped together to capture like multiple angles of the same shot. It's like Danny Boyle turned into a TikTok Voltron. And to be fair, it actually looks pretty good. It looked good. There's no denying that the visually the movie does slap. The shots are sharp. It's got style, and the lighting's killer. Um, but just the one like gripe I've got with it, I've got it here, is when they start like rapid fire cutting between like Spike will shoot the arrow into the first fucking zombie that he sees, for example, and when the arrow hits, it will cut from say this angle to this angle really quickly and go back. It was just, I don't know, it was just really jarring, and it felt like someone was skipping 5 seconds forward every time mid scene. I get what they were going for, but it's just a little distracting. At least I found it that way. Sometimes less is more, even when you're flexing a whole fucking Apple store worth of cameras, and then they go back to the island. This is where the train starts skidding off the tracks and heading towards a cliff full of flames and just questionable writing decisions. Um, Spike, yeah, Spike starts worrying about his mum. She's got some illness that obviously we don't know about in the beginning. We find out. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. He finds out that there's this weird, possibly deranged former doctor on the mainland that he saw a flame coming from, and some guy gave us some foreshadowing about how this guy's gone insane, fucking, he burns bodies and all that kind of crazy stuff. Sounds cool, right? Except we find out that his dad's just out here cheating on his mum, just casually sprinkling in a bit of emotional trauma on the side. I don't know, it just felt a bit out of place for me. Like, he could have done something else to lose Spike's trust in that situation other than that. So Spike does what any emotional, overwhelmed movie son would do. He grabs his sick mum, throws her in a boat. They don't go into a boat, for fuck's sake. They run across the causeway, and go into the zombie hell in search of the local mad scientist, Discount Bin Doctor. And for a while, it still kind of works. The visuals are cool, the atmosphere stays intact, and then they run into this, like, it's really bad because I can't remember now whether he was like Swedish or from Denmark or something. I'm gonna say the Swedish like soldier that they come across, Eric, who joins the party, and then that's just really for me when the story starts dissolving. Like someone knocked over the screenplay mid fucking edit and said, "That's close enough." The pacing gets a bit weird. Characters start making decisions that feel less like human choices and more like script obligations. The tension drains it. The tone just gets messy, and you can feel the movie shifting gears into setup mode. Like it's less concerned with telling a complete story and more focused on laying the foundation for the sequels. Which, yeah, just kind of takes us on to that ending, that beautifully deranged, out of left field, what the fuck did I just watch ending. So here's the deal, they don't name drop Jimmy Savile exactly. It's not like the character turns to the camera and's like, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Savile." Plot twist. But what they do is somehow worse, more cursed, definitely more confusing. There's this character, a guy named Jimmy, who we actually see right at the beginning of the film. He's one of the kids that is watching Teletubbies on the TV. I won't give too much away. His family's being like fucking murdered, and we see him right at the beginning. Just super bleak, super on brand. So we fast forward to the end of the film, and this kid has somehow grown up to become some kind of cult leader. Not just any cult leader. This dude dresses up like Jimmy Savile, blonde wig, tracksuit, the rings, the teeth, all of it. He even uses like Jimmy Savile's catchphrase. It's just this deep fried trauma and served with a side of "please make it stop." And the weirdest part, he's not alone in all of this. He's got like followers, people who wear all variations of the same look basically, and they call themselves Jimmy too. Like, he's Jimmy, another one's Jimmy something, so on and so forth. It's just like the movie took this sudden fucking haunted Halloween party turn, and with a Jimmy Savile theme, just completely out of nowhere, no build up, no foreshadowing, just bam, cult of Jimmys. I didn't even fully clock what was going on until after I watched the movie, because I was intrigued by what this actually means. So I looked it up, and then this is when I found all this out. I thought it was just some weird visual choice, but no, it's 100%. There's videos of Danny Boyle. I'll try and find one and put one in saying that it's based on Jimmy Savile.
So when I read the screenplay that Alex sent, there were these characters that appeared at the end of the film called the Jimmies, and it is shocking. It returns you to the fact that this is a horror film, but not in the way you might be expecting. They go on to dominate the second film. I thought this is the most original piece of writing I've seen since Clockwork Orange. It's what I thought. That's honestly what I thought.
But yeah, the movie starts strong, really strong, but eventually stumbles into a weird, unfocused mess that clearly exists to tee up the next film and the film after that. But it's just that ending, man. A full-on Hail Mary into what the actual fuck zone. It's definitely worth a watch. I wouldn't say it's worth selling your left kidney to go catch in theatres. But when it hits streaming, absolutely toss it on. Dim the lights, grab a snack, and let it wash over you like a wave of stylish chaos and questionable decisions. Because despite its flaws, and there are plenty, don't get me wrong, there's some really fascinating about this movie. It's just trying to rehash old ground into something new, and I respect the hell out of it. But for that, even if it does just kind of trip over its own shoelaces in the process. But more than anything, I'm just insanely curious now to see how the hell they go with the sequels. And the best part, we don't even have to wait that long. These films were shot back to back, the first and the second one, so that next installment's already on its way, which honestly does kind of make it feel a bit better in hindsight. It's less clunky third act and more mid-season cliffhanger. So yeah, check it out. It's flawed, it's bold, it's weird, and it's a setting the state. So yeah, check it out. It's flawed, it's bold, it's weird, and it's setting the stage for something potentially really wild. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a bit. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next one.